say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we gonna get to the other stuff in a minute, but first, see, what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So it ain't nothing else left to do. To get the fuck about the darkness. Hey. You better smile. And if at any point on our journey you feel yourself becoming engulfed by the abyss, you can always look to me as your beacon. But the thing is, you don't even need me. I'm just here to show you the light that's shining within yourself. And even without that, I'm just here to show you that there's nothing to fear in the darkness. The darkness is an integral part of your nature. What you think got you through all them hard times? You gotta face the darkness. Sometimes you gotta become the darkness. And that's a true power in itself. I think it's about that time for you to just open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. One time. I don't have devious intentions, but I am a handsome devil, ain't I? Hey, yeah, what it was, y'all. Y'all know who it is. And if not, it's alright. And y'all tuned in with priceless knowledge of self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight, man. And we working in the shadows, right? You know, this one right here is interesting, man. You can't hide from the darkness. And that's the truth of these people I'm talking about right here. Because this right here, this a little something about those people that have the black moon Lilith in the 10th house of their natal chart. Yeah. And before we actually go there, what I'm going to do first, if you don't know my styles, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the black moon Lilith. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the mythology that comes along with it. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. Then after that, you know, I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of what the 10th house of the astrological chart is actually all about. And then after that, we're going to bring it to a climax, which is actually what I do best, a crescendo. So, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So, Lilith. Well, the story of Lilith is actually the oldest story ever told. because she comes to us from Jewish or Judaic mythology. And Lilith was the first woman ever created. Lilith and Adam were created at the same time by the Creator, equally. That's right. Yeah, understand that. Equally. So anybody that thinks women are supposed to be subservient to men or up under men, like, no. You got it very twisted, fella. Okay? And so, let's think about it like this, man. Everything was good in the hood between those two until it came time to, consummate the relationship. Time to get nasty. Because it was at that time that Adam was like, lay down, Lilith, so I may lay on top of you. But as I said, that ain't Eve, and she ain't submissive. And she said, nah, you lay down, so I may lay on top of you. And we all know that Mr. Adam ain't having that. No, sir. So there was a great calamity. They got into it, and the angel of the Lord comes down to sort things out. And then finding out what's going on, he immediately sides with Adam. And what? Lilith is immediately disrespected, dejected, and she dips out, And what she dips out to become is a lot of different things in a lot of different mythologies. Some would say that, she's a demon that steals baby. Some say she's a demon that seduces men to their demise. Some would say that she's the mother of all demons. Some would say that she's Satan's consort. But I'm going to tell you now that that's a whole bunch of hogwash, That was something that was created by a bunch of scared little men. I'm just being real, okay? Because what Lilith represents is strong, feminine, fierce, rebellious, dominant energy, okay? Is it manipulative and sexy? Damn skippy. It has to be. It doesn't have brute force to work with. Understand that, okay? So just think about it like that. So when we come down to Adam now, he's hurting, he's sick, he needs him somebody, he wants to mate, he has all that, testicular fortitude going on. And so, in his little crybaby fit, God puts him into a stupor, takes one of his ribs, and creates Eve, who is of Adam for Adam. Understand that? You feel me? And so we'll get into you can get into the different manifestations of that, anytime you want. But yeah, of Adam for Adam, but that's not all females. And that's not feminine energy. That's Eve. That's one aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's one ingredient of the whole enchilada. So, when we're talking about astrology now, in each person's chart, there's kind of an indicator of dark karma. And, that's where the Black Moon Lilith comes into play. And like the nodes and the Arabic parts, this is not an astral celestial body, but it represents a certain point or aberration in the natal chart. And it helps to understand where certain provocations, where certain temptations, turn-ons, fears, and trials might await a person. Okay. It can represent the darker or shadow side of our personality, as well as the type of energy that could put us in great states of trepidation. And definitely, it manifests differently in different people, because if you look at this energy as something bad and negative, it's going to manifest as something bad and negative. If you repress this energy, it probably ain't going to work out the best for anybody. Okay. This is interesting right here, man. And the thing to understand is that if you're not comfortable with your feminine energy, a lot of the time this is going to be, a placement you'll struggle with. If you have an understanding somehow that feminine means female and and masculine means male, then you sorely got it twisted, bro. Because that's not what it's about. And in your journey through spirituality, you will come to learn that femininity has nothing to do with being female, and masculinity has nothing to do with being male. You feel me? And that's just true. It's about receptivity and projecting. But that's a whole different conversation. And, when we talk about the shadow energy, You know, people get that twisted with thinking the shadow means bad or negative. No. It's sometimes in your life that shadow done got you through. Like I always say, man, I don't know if you watch Walking Dead or not, but that time when Rick bit that dude's throat out, when him and Carl were in a bad situation, he had to do that. And the shadow enabled him to do so. So, don't ever dismiss the shadow, because, you know, doing shadow work, integrating that part of yourself is going to be essential to your spiritual development. Real talk. And also understand that the Black Moon Lilith, you know, it's going to be stronger in years of multiples of 9. And I don't mean 1909, 1918, 1927, 1936, 1945, 1954, 1963, 1972. That's not what I mean. Okay. What I mean is in years of multiples of 9 since your birth. Okay. And, you know, that's how long it takes to traverse the whole zodiac and make that Lilith return, you know, and it's at those times that, you know, some fateful events might occur. You might have to look yourself in the mirror and really, you know, figure out what the problem is. Is it them or is it me? And a lot of times, if you're going through this Lilith return, it's you. But hey, maybe the shadow's integrated and nothing will happen. Maybe you don't allow it to affect you at all because you know that just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. Hey, it's an interesting thing right there, man. It's interesting, ain't it? So, let me also say that I don't know what's going to happen because I'm not here for predictions. I think a lot of people have been getting that mixed up lately. I'm about character development and personality traits. I'm not here for predictions. There are people that love to do predictive astrology. You might should holler at them, but that's not what I like to do. I'm well capable to do all of it, but that's not my blessing. That's not my calling. Okay. And so when we talk about the 10th house of the astrological chart, you know, this is one of the angular houses that consists of the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th, you know, and it's ruled by Saturn and, you know, the sign of Capricorn, and it's called the house of social status because it's the highest and most visible point in our astrological chart. Okay. And it's about career and social grouping and our energy in society as a whole. And with the 10th, you got to think status and the authority that it conveys and consequently the role that we take in our community. And it kind of speaks to any positions or promotions that we might receive, you know, any fame that we might acquire and the type of businesses that we partake in. And with respect to achievement, the 10th house focuses on how we see ourselves and how the community perceives us at the same time, you know, and we really focus on manifesting ourselves in this house. Understand that. Vocation is going to be extremely important in the 10th too, and what role we choose and how we best fit, you know, how much do we really want to achieve, you know, career, professional goals, ambition, and motivation, they all come into play in the 10th house, man. And in a more practical context, you know, the government could be represented here as well as, you know, anything that, you know, kind of revolves around us, you know, ruling over others or us or somebody else trying to rule over us. The 10th is all about ego gratification too. That's something else, man. And, you know, the question of how we manage the gifts and the status that come along with that. And with the 10th, you know, just remember that not all of us are cut out for success on a grand scale. And not all of us even want that type of thing. So that's something that you can always look in the 10th and realize, you know, how you feel about yourself. Pardon me. So when we talk about putting the Black Moon Lilith in the 10th house, you know, I'm just going to tell you straight up, man, that when you put the Black Moon Lilith in the 10th house of an individual's chart, man, it's going to manifest in a way that the whole world can see, man, because these folks here, you know, they have a raw, seductive energy that, you know, it just don't quit and it seldom goes unnoticed, man. Yes, man. You know, these are the people whose very presence is deeply infused with the qualities of Lilith, man. And, you know, their very presence is just going to reek of that in a way, man. and, a lot of them are probably going to have those reputations for being mysterious and independent and seductive and rebellious and, maybe even sexy and manipulative in some cases, man. And the closer to the midheaven it is, the more intense that's going to be. I promise you, man. Real talk, man. But at the same time, don't get it twisted and think that this one can't be a motherfucker, cause it is. It is, man. Because that rebelliousness and, all that other energy and that extra shit they be doing, that could end up affecting their career. And that extra shit could really ultimately ended up really tarnishing their public reputation. Now, whether they actually give a damn about that or not, the shine is going to speak a lot more to that, man. I promise you. But also understand that besides all that, sexy shit, the Black Moon Lilith can also, speak to, what we have suppressed inside of us and the issues that we have in our unconscious that are really blocking us from living our best life. And, with this one, it usually really, really points to, problems that came back with one of the parents. And, it's usually the father with the 10th, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be either one of them, man. And, more often than not, it really just means that, they weren't, the parent that we're speaking on, they weren't available to them, in whatever way and for whatever reason. And that doesn't just, have to mean physically because, maybe the parent was there in the physical sense, but, maybe they didn't, give them any sense of nurturing. Maybe they were cold. Maybe they were domineering and, sometimes they were just too demanding. So having that 10th house Lilith can also, sometimes suggest an individual with a degree, with a real degree of intensity of desire inside of them, to really just, accomplish something great in order to prove to that parent that, they're worthy of love and, they're worthy of praise too. Okay. Because, the 10th is about praise and respect. Don't ever forget that either. And let it be known that, in full disclosure, that Lilith here could also indicate a divorce between the parents. It could indicate that there was abuse coming from the parent that we spoke of. Or, it could even indicate the loss of a parent, where they, unfortunately have made the transition from this world to the next. And, moving on from that, man, let me also say that the people with this placement right here, they need to just learn to accept themselves no matter what, because Lilith here could also suggest that they really have problems feeling worthy when they aren't excelling in life. And that's hard, man. And then the thing with that is, on a subconscious level, they kind of, are obsessed to living up to some, unspecified standard that really doesn't even exist at all, man. Which, I'm telling you now, that's rough. That's rough, man. And, they also just want so deeply to make a difference on the world and, be a big stepper that, they're willing to go much, much farther than anyone else, as far as it takes, to get where they want to go. If you know what I mean. This is Lilith, man. They're just extremely driven. They're extremely ambitious and they want to get to the top. They're gonna get to the top. You understand that? And settling for mediocrity, it just ain't an option. But on that same kill, that they've also probably, been extremely, extremely self-conscious people since they were really young, and that's another thing that's interesting, man. And they just care so much about what other people think about them that there could be this anxiety and this fear of failure that really comes along with that. But as they grow older and mature, a lot of them, discover those Lilith traits in themselves and they become a lot more self-confident to the point where, they end up desiring to take on really public roles and they really want to get to be at the top, like I said, and this is somebody that really gets turned on being the center of attention. Okay. They like that. They like that, man. And, And the thing is, with Lilith here, in most situations, they are with their sexy ass. I mean, I'm just being real, man. And don't get it twisted either, man. Don't get it twisted, you know. Power is another thing here. Power is another thing, man. You know, they want to be somebody that's influential, man. They want to be somebody that's in control of the situation. And they'll do sometimes whatever it takes to, you know, work their jelly to make sure that they're not in a situation where somebody else is in control. I tell you that, man. You know, think about it like this, for real, man. You know, the 10th house Lilith is really going to probably manifest in a real subtle and refined way that's a lot similar to having Pluto in the 10th house too, man. Because not only are they just, you know, charismatically sexy and powerful and magnetic, but they're also pretty mysterious too. Yeah. You know, they know how to influence people, and they understand the human psyche a lot better than most will. So much to the point where, you know, they know which buttons to press, how, and when to, you know, get the reactions that they need. And I'm talking about from the public. You know, pardon me, y'all. Now, in all fairness, does that necessarily mean they're manipulative by nature? No. But if they have to be, they damn sure ain't above manipulating motherfuckers, or, you know, using that sexiness to get where the fuck they want to go. And, you know, the crazy thing about this 10th house energy is, you know, 9 times out of 12, let's put it like this, you know, everybody pretty much, you know, knows how these folks get down, because, you know, it's here that Lilith ain't just associated with their career and reputation, but also in their actions. Yeah, because in traditional astrology, you know, the 10th house is also known as the cultivating point or the pivot. You understand? Meaning that in the case of these folks, you know, that shadow, that sexy darkness, it's actually the axis around which all else revolves, you know. She's the destination to which all roads lead for these folks. But even if it don't play out like that, just because you build like that, you don't have to build like that, okay? It doesn't matter where Lilith is in your chart. It doesn't matter where Pluto is. It doesn't matter where Mars is, Saturn is. We all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. That's some priceless knowledge in itself. And there's been some priceless knowledge of self. I appreciate all the love and support, man. If y'all are interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. I appreciate all the love and support, man. For real, man. Hey, this will be that time. If you ain't hit that like button, man, you out of line and you disrespectful, because I know you feeling me. It's hard not to, man. Y'all keep it real till next time. Okay? I love all y'all. Don't let nobody stop you or bring you down.